Alright, so you can open the first lesson of the third chapter, Emmet with CSS. So Emmet also works in CSS. It can be used to write a property more quickly by typing the first letters of that prop. We can also enter values more easily, so percentage, rem, vh, etc. Emmet often mixes with VS Code IntelliSense, so sometimes the VS Code IntelliSense is used, sometimes it is Emmet, but it is very well made, like you don't even notice it. You just write it and you'll see that it will work anyway, so I will just show it to you. For example, P plus Enter tab causes the use of an Emmet shortcut, and it will write padding, and pad plus Enter tab will use a VS Code shortcut or, well, the VS Code IntelliSense. So you see that you won't even notice the difference actually. Well, there is also a fuzzy search algorithm which will detect an Emmet shortcut when put several letters together. So O plus Enter tab will write overflow hidden, but also OVH, OH, etc., etc. So, well, you have multiple little tricks to write the same property and value. Alright, so we can start and we will just discover everything. So we need to uncomment the body first. So just uncomment it. With VS Code, it's control colon or control slash. And you can also go to the end of it and uncomment it. Okay, alright. So each property is available. You just have to type its first letters to find it. So either the first one or sometimes the first ones. So here, for example, M for margin, and you can see the Emmet abbreviation, and you just have to press enter and it will work just like that. So be careful sometimes, for example, with font size and font style, etc. Some properties start with the same letters and you need to, well, kind of know them by heart, but it's not that hard to remember those. So for example, here BC is background color, and by default it is FFF, just like that. You can also give a value with a value just after M, for example, M10, it will create margin 10 pixel, M99, 99 pixel, etc., etc. Same thing for padding, for example, P10 or P50, whatever. All right. So by default it is pixel, but we'll see that we can also use whatever we want as a value. So don't forget Control plus arrow up down to increment the current value. So if you're there, you can just press Control arrow up and it will decrement it. It can be nice if you have a live server going on in background and you can just try a different value for whatever you want. Okay, so then you have, for example, T30 for top 30, B20 for bottom 20, etc., etc. We can use other units of measurements than pixel. For example, if we want to use percentage with width, W 10%, and it will create width 10%, kind of handy. Here we can use H100VH. All right, nothing else to say. Here for font size, it's not FS. FS is font style. For font size, it is FZ. FZ. For example, 20 rem up, and it will just work fine. We can also use prop column value to add a value that is not a unit of measurement. For example, a keyword, auto, relative, etc. It can also be used with units of measurement. You can also do P:35, but I think that P35 is just quicker, right? But both are available. So for example, O auto, it will create overflow auto. Okay, BGP, so background position, it will create BGP, yeah, background position column center, it will create background position center. But you can also have BGP, for example, left or whatever you want. All right, same for, well, padding 35 pixel if you want to write it that way, but I think that P35 is just quicker actually. And you could also do just P35, well, percent, even though I don't recommend using percentage with padding, but whatever. Okay, so we can also use colors. We do have some shortcuts with the colors, so BG -O, and it will create background just like that. Color, so C #F, color white. Sometimes if you have some repeating patterns in an hexadecimal code, you can do C #F1 and it will repeat it. Well, I'm not using it that much, but well, you could also. For the display, it's kind of easy, just D and the name of the value you want to use. So DB for display block, DIB for display inline block, DF display flex, DG display grid, you name it. For important, it's also easy. You just have to add the exclamation mark at the end of the command. So for example, if you want to FZ20 pixel important, and you just press tab and it will work. Voilà, okay. Now I will show you some other useful shortcuts. For example, position, we often need to use a position. So PSR, position relative, PSA, position absolute. It's kind of logic, to be fair, kind of pragmatic. For some property, there is a change, yes, like FZ instead of FS, but usually it's kind of intuitive. Yes, it's kind of easy to get along with. For the border, it's BD plus, for example, border 1 pixel solid. It can be good if you want to try a border around an element to remember that one. But you can also have BDR plus, so for border right, BDB plus, well, etc., etc. For the animation, you can write anim with an hyphen, amin hyphen, just like that, and you press tab, and it will write every possible value here. So the name, animation name, duration, timing function, etc. So you can just name it and just fill everything. I don't really use it personally because you don't always have to write each value just like that. But if you want to use it, it can be useful. Okay, great. Transition, it's TRS. It's a bit like animation, but it's less complete, just prop and time. For the transform, it's TRF, transform. You can also have TRF column R, for rotate. So it can be nice. For translate, you can have TRF column T for translate, and you can change the different value, etc., 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 etc. Okay. Well, I think I will show to you the cheat sheet of Emmet. So I will try to write it there, cheat sheet Emmet. So you just have to Google it. Okay, so cheat sheet Emmet, and you click on it, and you should be able to see all of the different shortcuts. So yeah, those are the abbreviation and shortcuts. Okay, so this is the HTML one, and usually at the bottom of it, there should be the CSS one. Yeah, CSS. Okay, so if you're looking for a particular thing in CSS, just Control F to activate the search right there. For example, background, and up, you do have the background here. If you want the transform, don't hesitate to, yes, just there. You can also move with the little arrow here. Okay, and you can find it just there. So do not learn them by heart, okay? Do not do that. Usually, if you use them like 5 or 10 times, you will start to memorize them. And usually, you can also try it there. I mean, if you want to use padding, you will just write P like that, and you will see it's just there. So, well, it's not that hard. And even with the fuzzy search algorithm, if I write PG, for example, it will find padding or PA or whatever. It will find it. So it's not that hard, to be frank, to find those shortcuts. Then to finish, we do have border, top, bottom, etc. For example, BDTLRS. Well, this is the longest, or one of the longest property out there. If you want to handle the top left radius of an element, you can also create a linear gradient with LG. It can be nice. LG is kind of useful. Just like that. And finally, this one is cool too. We can also chain properties just like in HTML, such as a shortcut in HTML, yes, with the plus sign. So for example, right there, you can just chain multiple value if you feel it, like P10 for padding, M10 for margin, W for width, and BGO for BG black. Up, and you have it this way. It can be nice too, it can be nice. Again, don't try to create an enormous shortcut, but if you want to chain padding and margin or something like that, I think it can be useful. Yes, it can be useful. All right, guys, so that's it for the CSS. It's just a way to write a property and value quicker, to write it faster, and it's kind of easy to use. So yeah, voilà. All right, see you in the next